Hello everyone, this is Joseph1WH and I will continue the playthrough of Avowed. This will be episode 32. We just left Thirdborne, we've changed my companions. I'm with Yatzli now and we will set up a camp because all four of my companions want to talk to me now. So let's do it first and see what they've got to say. Because things happened, so... Who's first? Marius? You.
Listening to Yatzli's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else.
You don't trust her? She's been helpful so far. If you have something on your mind, say it. Yeah, if you have something on your mind, say it.
I don't know, she's alright, okay? But how would she know how to get to the garden? If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then.
It's not like the garden moved. Perception. You seem really bothered by this. We have to find a way to the garden, and this is our best chance. Do you have a better idea? I trust you, actually, with this end of story. Let's ask him why he's bothered.
Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway.
It's been dangerous since we landed, so... not making any sense, so... Okay, let's talk about companions.
Let's make sure they're not listening. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatzli. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for WoW's wacky wagon of mysteries. Nah, I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't?
Okay. And do you have any more to say about Shutterscarp?
Right. What do you need?
No, we've covered that, so
Right.
nothing.
Changing the subject?
That's nothing. Okay. Thanks for your input, Marius, but you're wrong.
Thanks for talking.
Oh.
Would you like some ice, darling?
I'm not drinking anything.
Well, I remember hearing an old wives' tale that when you're on the verge of panic, you hold some ice. It gives you something to focus on, apparently. I can magically whip up some for you if ever you need it.
Right. No thanks. I'm fine.
No need to bite my head off, darling. I'm only trying to help.
Gods. Listen, I'm having a rough day and my porridge isn't sitting very well. Maybe I'll ask you for some ice later.
Well, however I can be helpful.
Okay, he still wants to talk to me, so let's do this.
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it.
Worse places than a hot, barren landfill with chasm on sinkholes. Looking on the bright side for once. Do you know something about Shutterscarp that I don't? You still think we're searching for the wrong thing? Yeah, let's go with this one. You still think we're searching for the wrong thing?
I think you're confusing hope for truth. Yatzli's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely? And spiders?
I like killing spiders. What's wrong with it? This would be a lot easier if you'd stop questioning my decisions. What's going on with you? Where's all this coming from? Are you afraid of spiders now? The godless ruins hold the answers I need. Yeah, let's let's go with the spiders.
No, why would I be? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin.
Trust me, we'll be fine. Appreciate your concerns. What are the options? There is the only one I'm aware of. If you're scared, next time you can stay behind in the camp. Oh, no, I'm not gonna say that, even though it will be funny. Trust me, we'll be fine.
I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway.
Yeah, me too, brother. Okay.
If I must.
Okay, you've got nothing. Kai, you're next.
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place.
Oh, so? When were you last here? What do you expect? It's besieged by dream trolls and guarding against another fuel. Let's ask him where he was last here.
6 years ago. Feels longer now. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller?
I felt something like this when I returned home after completing my studies at Braganel. Not really. Is this about Tama? That's not a good question. Let's go with the scholar, as usual.
And home just wasn't the same. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis. Dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars.
I saw more scars than glory back there. The Thirdborne music tribe sounds more like legend than rarity. And now? Yeah, and now? What do you think about it now? Too much lore.
All that vigor's been wrung dry. Being back, it felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death.
It is. He's being attacked constantly. Thirdborne has probably changed over the years, but so have you. They're facing the brunt of the dream scourge that would take its toll anyway. You're in mourning for the home you left. It may not have been quite the way you remember it. Yeah, you're facing the brunt of the dream scourge.
True. But I can't help but feel that the Thirdborn I knew 6 years ago would have faced it better. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temerity's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving?
Well, if your life is constantly in danger, the first thing is to survive. Sometimes surviving is enough, yeah. Thirdborne will change and adapt the rest of the Living Lands. It's not enough to run from something, you need something to run to. All this also drifting and needing direction sounds personal, Kai. In a way, one is true. Yeah, sometimes it is enough. Right now, they just need to survive. They can think of what next when they do.
For a while, I suppose. Eventually, you need more. What about you? You were sent by your emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. You released Igwolf, but you didn't stop the Steelgrowth's attack on Fjord. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides?
Helgard and Ludwin aren't the final word. I'm loyal to either interest in my own way. I follow my principles, not my commands. I'm making this up as I go. No, I think I follow my principles. Let's do this.
That kind of clarity is rare. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow.
How did Thirdborne came to be? Let's ask this. We stocked our scouts up and we can ask questions later.
The story goes that a lot of the first arrivals were Rawatayans without other prospects, too low on the ladder to take over the family trade, too poor to learn another.
The third one of the families. Is that true?
Exactly. Rawatai's an inhospitable environment to say the least, so my people have a proud tradition of seeking our fortunes elsewhere. Rawatai's got a big navy that always needs fresh blood, and there are plenty of opportunities for large, colorful mercenaries and bodyguards all over Aora.
Returns aren't all warriors and sellswords. Let me guess. Some of them wound up here. Yeah.
You got it. It's hard to say when Thirdborne was properly founded. It started as a convenient harbor for pirates and mercs to lie low. Bold, or desperate, fishing crews from Rawatai would follow seasonal catches out here.
That seems like a rough place to lie low and a long way for a fishing trip. And that became a town? Yeah, let's go with this first one.
That tells you something about the people willing to attempt it. Over time, those early arrivals built huts, a proper harbor, and walls to protect them from all the hungry things in the desert. Well, that brought in a steady trickle of veterans, ruffians, trophy hunters, and rugged eccentrics. People looking for fresh adventure, or running from the consequences of their old ones.
And far from the reach of any nation's laws. Which one were you? You said already.
Your words, not mine.
Okay, Shadowscarp, we ask, what kept you from returning to Thirdborne for so long? I've got questions. Okay, what's kept you?
I've got a lot of memories here. And the longer I stayed away, the harder it felt to come back.
Okay, I know the feeling. Well, what's it like to return now? Sounds like you're running from something. Yeah, what's like?
Harder than I thought. Thirdborne's missing a lot of familiar faces. And the youngsters who've grown up and the new arrivals, they seem green. Like they're cut from a different cloth, a more delicate one.
That's usually the case. The neighbors are turning into Drentrolls. That would rattle anyone. Congratulations, you're a grumpy old man. Give it time. You've been gone a long while. No, you're a grumpy old man right now, Kai.
I really do sound like my grandfather.
You smell like him, too.
How about you borrow Yatzli's ladder so you can say that to my face? Thirdborne's only survived because the people were tougher than the wilds. I just hope the people living behind those walls know how to keep them standing.
Okay, I've got a question about you.
Good thing you're asking the expert.
Thoughts about other companions? Yeah, I want to know what you think about Yatzli.
You're asking me? I'm not much of a gossip. Okay, who do you want to know about?
Yatzli.
You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giatta. And Giatta's a good influence on her.
Is that all? Because I thought you two were flirting earlier. Yatzli sees things differently. She studies both lost history and magic of incredible power. What matters most is that she's a friend and she's got our backs. Let's ask him if he was if he's flirting.
I'm pretty sure Yatzli flirts with everybody. I don't read anything into it. Don't get me wrong, she's a striking woman, but she and Quilici have a good thing. I'd never get in the middle of something like that.
Yatzli sees things differently. Yeah, we kinda need some outside perspective for things.
Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't.
I don't remember. He tell me about Giatta? Let's ask.
She's got a lot of heart, and she's loyal to her people and their principles, even when it costs her. Giatta's lost her home, but kept her resolve. It takes a special kind of person to weather what she has and emerge stronger for it. She'll have a lot to figure out after all this, but she's gonna be okay.
Okay, I thought you didn't care for animancy. She's driven by her parents' legacy, but she hasn't found her own motivation. Giatta could drive the future of animancy. Even the colleagues who disagree with her clearly respect her. This is true, the second one.
She's young. She'll get there. Until then, there are certainly worse things to be driven by.
Okay, let's talk about something else. And we'll leave.
You know where to find me.
Okay, is that all? That's all. Yatzli, you'll have a lot to say, girl.
Tell me.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course.
I didn't know what you were expecting. I suppose a bath could be arranged if you ask nicely. I was under the impression that you like to draft. Let's actually say this.
When the mood is right, I find I like everything. I'm going to write Quilici tonight. Make sure he misses me. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind?
Oh yes. That Jai had me fetch for you earlier, is it worth much? Why did I find you alone in some old ruins in Emerald Stair? I want to talk to you about what happened with your... I don't care if it's worth much, but yeah, why they find you there?
Well, because I'm the foremost expert on the godless, of course. So I must study their artifacts when I can. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find.
Isn't how you got it burned? Running around old, flammable ruins? Did you end of the godless when you were studying the arcane arts?
Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire.
Wow. The incantation for reflection is one stressed syllable from flame. Perhaps that's where you made the mistake. When you say everything, was anyone hurt? Your parents gave you a grimoire and then just left you alone? No, scholar.
That was my assumption as well. Barrett's balls. It's nice to know I won't have to dumb things down with you. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end.
Did you ever end up getting that spell right? Dreams of what? I can't imagine your parents were happy about that. No, did you ever end up getting that spell right?
Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams.
Are you sure you only had dreams, not nightmares? That mess must have been for the time. That's all I have for now. That mess must have been painful, yeah.
Usually I enjoy a bit of pain, but this was a bit too much. I wouldn't recommend it. As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Okay. Really? You don't want to talk anymore?
People don't
But I
think
want to
steam
talk
thistle
about
has
you.
any medicinal properties.
Oh?
But if you grind it up and add some clean water, it's decent at protecting your skin from the sun.
That will be a great help on our travels. I detest the sun.
It also doesn't taste half bad on bread. If you don't mind picking out all the little pricklers.
I think I'll stick to butter. But at least we have options.
Wait, did you ask about that, or was it Kai? Never mind. Carry on.
Okay, I need to speak with Yatzli. I need to see what she's got to say about companions.
Oh, envoy, might I steal a moment of your time?
You finally ready to talk about what happened in Emerald Stair? Do you need something? I'm actually in the middle. Let's ask about Emerald Stair.
Well, it's the waiting that makes the payoff so delicious, don't you agree? I can't believe Fjord's gone. A city of scientists, attacked for no reason. I'm going to personally find every Steel Garrote asshole and turn them to ash. I can't believe we were able to get as many out of town as we were.
Yeah, we're lucky. For all Vitara's fault, the key coordinates a damn good evacuation. I cannot use resolve. Alright, we're lucky.
It's hard to think of it like that when everyone's homes and laboratories are gone, but we were. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborne, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't.
What will happen? Have you known Temer long? Temerity. You care a lot about the animases. Did you grow up in Fjord? What will happen? I actually am interested.
I know, and she knows. Let's leave it at that.
Ooh. Have you known her long? Okay.
Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborne's close to Naku Kubel, and a girl's gotta eat sometime.
Okay. You just traveled and studied ancient ruins. It sounds wonderful. Why give that up? Of everywhere you've gone, why set down roots in the stair? The ungodless ruins in your hometown? Yeah, scholar.
Who says I did? I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling.
A warm welcome from the animals? How do you get that? But you're not an animal, so let's go with the first one.
Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course. But a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again.
Yeah. I remember getting distracted and going hungry more than once during my studies. Does this mean I'll get food from you? Is it how you met and wooed Kulichi? With snacks? No, this is funny. I want to ask this. Does it mean I'll get food from you?
As much as I'd love to, you don't travel with a kitchen. I can't promise anything. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Guilichi and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked.
And you lived happily ever after. Giatta and Kulichi seem to be close. Does that concern you? No, that he's like a father to her, so no. And you lived happily ever after.
Oh, it's not a fairy tale, darling. We've been happy for the most part. Any rough patches got smoothed over well enough. I only thought about killing him once or twice. He's probably thought the same a bit more. I still can't quite believe that everything we've built is gone. A generation of work scattered to the wind. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out.
If you have so little trust in Vidara, why don't you try his job? The people alive, so there's still hope. Buildings can be rebuilt. I'm sure everything will work out for the best. Yeah, Buildings can be rebuilt.
Right. The city can be replaced, but not its residents. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling?
Okay. What do you think of our travel companions?
We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. I'd seen Kai around once or twice, and always thought he was charming enough. He's got a sharp tongue, though. Makes me like him even more. And Marius. I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giatta, well, clearly Giatta is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money.
I can't score. Honestly, it's just nice to not have to speak in layman's terms every moment of the day. I am playing them the least interesting. Giatta is lovely once you look past the dead parents. Kai has been with me since the beginning. You can't very well leave him now. Marius you want to have on your side, if only for his prowess in tavern brawls. Just want to, yeah, Arcane Scholar. Okay, let's go with this.
It is a lovely little perk, isn't it? But so is the ability to actually talk to any you meet. Don't discount it. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet?
I do have a sweetheart at home, but I'll be a long time until we meet again. I have a lot of friends back in Adir. I left more than a few broken hearts at home. Do I have a sweetheart? Or friends? Let's say I have friends.
So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie.
Come on, you and Kulichi have been simple and sweet all your time together. Dark empty ruins, those would be the very good places for the rendezvous, couldn't they?
Quilici is quite good at knowing when to be sweet and when to be sour.
Yatzli, that's my surrogate father you're talking about? Spare my imagination, if you please.
Oh, you knew the risks when you came over uninvited, darling. It's on your head. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say?
Your voice is still troubles if I do. Can you show me what to look for? And sharpen our wits. Whatever you want to teach me, I'm ready to learn. Yeah, perception. I will go for perception, maybe.
Of course, darling. Easy as pie. What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use.
Yeah, 2 points to perception. That's very good. Alright.
Yatzli, why did I wake up to smell perfume in my bedroll this morning?
Don't tease, darling. We both know why.
No one else has complained about my smell.
I was attempting a more subtle approach.
Spraying strong perfume on my stuff isn't subtle.
Oh, is it too strong? I'll try another batch. Perhaps that'll be more to your liking.
Right, that won't be necessary.
Oh, trust me, it's necessary.
Alright, Giatta, you're the last. Come on, tell me.
The dream scourge is getting worse. First our land, then our animals. Now our people. If we don't put a stop to it, we're looking at the end of the living lands.
We'll stop it somehow, have faith. Even if we heal the living lands, we still need to rest away from the Stilgarrote. For all we know, it's already too late. We'll stop it.
I keep trying, and the world keeps punishing me for it. As if the Dream Scourge wasn't enough of a problem, the Adherents are profiting off our misfortune. They haven't come to help us. They're here to exploit our weakness.
At least now it's common knowledge. Cracked on knuckles, my people are in dire need of correction. That's true of the Stilgarrote, but not all of Adir. Yeah, that's true of the Stilgarrote, but not all of Adir.
The Steel Garrote are a weapon. Who do you think wields them? It's too bad. We're fighting for our lives, our souls, and our freedom. I don't know if we can win all three.
We can, it won't be easy, but we'll make it. We can't, the odds are stacked against it. You doing alright? Yes, we can. Come on.
You really think so? My apologies for acting cynical, but it feels as if nature, politics, and even the very gods are working against us. I don't appreciate being backed into a corner, but here I am.
Must be nice having Yatzli around. Let's talk about stethoscope. I want to ask about you. Okay, let's ask about Yatzli.
Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatzli. In many ways, Quilici has been like a second father to me. But Yatzli, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good.
We all need a few bad influences in our lives. If she can fight, she's welcome to tag along. Can we trust her? We know we can trust her, so we all need the bad influences sometimes.
Oh, she's an expert in that field.
Yeah.
While I have your attention, I've been thinking. Why is Inquisitor Ludwig suddenly interested in godless ruins?
Maybe she knows more that she lets on, not for any good reason. That doesn't concern us. Yeah, maybe she knows more.
She's a smart one. I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet.
That's for sure. Okay, can we ask about her a little more?
Go on then. Don't be shy.
What do you think about our travel?
Anyone in
plans?
particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions.
Yatzli.
Of course, she's brilliant, open to anything, and sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatzli gave me my first glass of wine, and the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Did she know your parents? Wait a second, who was this second special? Special someone, sorry. Thank you, perspective. No, did she know your parents?
Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatzli protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed.
Oh, wait a second, so this one... Yeah, let's ask.
No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatzli taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Now that she's traveling with us, maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it.
Alright, that's enough. Get some rest.
You too.
Okay, actually, Yatzli, I didn't ask her about the companions.
We really must stop meeting like this. People will talk.
How do you cope with the stress of travel? Let's talk about the recurring dream you've been having. What can you tell me about the Godless? Yeah, let's ask about the Godless first.
Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akida, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the living lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it.
The Giatta were fleeing, and the storm brought them here. How do you know all of that? Where did they come from? Yeah, where did they come from?
Well, that's a bit harder to explain. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Shamatul or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yezua.
Yezua? Or Yezua? Yezua?
Yezua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible.
If this place was so great, why leave? Maybe that's the land of sweet I dream of is real too. Yeah, that's sarcastic. I don't want to go there.
There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously.
You're really obsessed, aren't you? Fascinating. It is fascinating.
I know. Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling?
Alright, let's talk about this dream.
Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young?
I'm sorry, you did what? It's hard to forget. Yeah, she said that.
It was an accident. And I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spell books for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire. Just flames, crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth, and that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls.
That sounds wonderful. What kind of tablets are in the library? Were you alone? What's outside the room? Yeah, that's wonderful.
A man after my own heart. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something.
Something? You don't have anything more specific? So that whole dream is that you watch someone not read in a chair? Books are rather terrifying. Okay, something.
Just the noise. A low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giatta's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur.
You don't know the sound source, I assume. I'm sorry I didn't notice. Are you out of oil already? Nah, sound source.
How sibilant. No. Just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. I suppose we should try and get some rest now. I'll have some tea ready for when we awaken later.
Come on, why is she breaking the conversation? I need to ask her about the companions.
There's my favorite Adiran.
I know. How do you cope?
These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Adir have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that?
I would have thought you had a full routine by this time in your life. Ooh, tell me about it. My hair refuses to cooperate with me now. Ooh, tell me about it.
Now, imagine that every inch of you is frizzing up. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing.
So you and Quilici are quite the unconventional couple. You should look pretty for yourself, not just Quilici though. Do we need to pay a visit to Thirdborne? Okay, first one.
In life, you make your own entertainment. I enjoy scandalizing the small-minded when I can. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie.
When did Giatta enter picture? Feel like you're exaggerating how many stairs you got. Maybe the less judgmental at the Bone and Boar. Yeah, let's ask about Giatta a little.
Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord.
So that's it. Everything just been fixing since then. If you tried harder, I'm sure you could find something to complain about. That sounds lovely. That sounds boring. This is too sweet. This is not really true. So that's it.
No, of course not. No one is perfect, but I forgive him many vices. Like, he sleeps with his socks on.
Right. How do you suggest we keep our feet warm at night? Light little fires between our toes?
You're too sweet. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie, we should really get going. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out.
What can you tell me about the Godless? We asked about it already. That's enough for now. Get some rest.
Always a pleasure, Envoy.
Okay. So, do I need to cook something? Maybe. Beetle pie. Might and damage. Yeah, we do. We're good. We're good.
Did you leave anyone back home?
I left everyone I knew when I left. Thanks for mentioning it.
No, I mean, did you leave someone special?
They're all special. That's the whole point of friends.
No, Did you leave a lover behind when you left home?
I love them all. They were like family to me.
What? No, Wait. Are you messing with me, Marius?
Me? Mess with you. Not blessed a likely.
Bravo, darling. I'm just happy to know you've got a sense of humor after all. Of course, I'll get my revenge soon enough.
Best of luck to you.
That was very good. That was very good. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'll just check workbench. So I can... Ooh, this is good. I can get my wand better. And I can get my shield better. Okay, well, it's about crafting. Alright, so I can do the breastplate. Yeah, breastplate, I'm wearing it all the time, so let's do this. Okay. I need Blackwood branch too. Oh, I can do one more. Alright. That's good. That's pretty good. Wow, we've almost done an hour in the camp,
How knowledgeable
so...
are you about boat maintenance?
I know enough to patch a hole in Mendocino. Why do you ask?
Well, I was thinking about it. The weather around here is so tempestuous, and the envoy's already been in one shipwreck. If we end up in a boat, I'd just rather someone knew what they were doing.
If there's one thing I'm good at, it's boats. If there's another, it's pretending I know what I'm doing.
Oh, my hero.
Alright, let's go out. And yeah, Yatzli and Kai. That's good. And let's complete the... Oh, look at this.
Seeds of change. Their petals sprout across the barren land. They sing to the unwanted ones, and the unwanted ones sprout in turn. The soil remembers what it once was. It will soon be whole, safe.
What are you talking about? Whose soil? The soil of Shutterscope? My dreams off limits, get out. Nah, what are you talking about?
The soil does not want these cities. It yearns for silence, for the kestrel song. But first, the sprouted ones will grow. They will bring the stillness and the birdsong.
I have no idea what he's talking about. How would you want Thirdborne gone? This place could use some peace and quiet. How could the dream scotch taking over Shutterscarbs be a good thing? Yeah, let's ask that.
The air was not meant for voices. The soil was not meant to carry buildings. We want all of them gone. We wish for life to flourish again.
But the people that live here are alive. That's what people are doing in Shutterscarbs. They are trying to make a life. There's life in Shutterscarp now. Don't you see it? I can't believe I'm trapped in my own head with something like you. Yeah, there's life in Shutterscarp, so what are you on about?
Pilchards growing on bushes. Life that should not be here. Death nourishes the soil. All things come from the rot.
Wow. We don't need death for things to grow. I suppose that's sometimes true. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I just want to sleep. Kinda do. Yeah, I suppose that's sometimes true.
The dead bear nourishes the pack. We ponder, dream of shifting sands now. We will speak again.
This is very weird. Alright. Let's go find to that place and see. Complete the Kai's quest. Who's this?
All right.
Who
I
are
think
you?
that's everything.
Oh wait. Something's here. Ah. Alright, let's talk to this person here. Oops. Oh, look at this treasure map.
You found the map? Good luck with it. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Maybe it'll speak to you.
Loato, who are you?
I was talking to myself again, wasn't I? Sorry.
Do you do that a lot? It's not safe to be out here by yourself. You sound nervous. What's wrong? No, he doesn't sound nervous.
I don't know. Do I? Maybe I'm just nervous. I had a dream about crossing the great sand sea, you see. Great dunes and shifting clouds. I had this feeling I'd come back changed.
Changed how? When did this happen? Have you always had dreams like this? You're not making sense. Yeah, when did this happen? Maybe that's Dream Scourge.
No, just recently.
Ooh.
It was so vivid. I keep hoping I'll have it again when I sleep. I have to know what's out there.
You didn't happen to dream about fish or trees, did you? Some things we're better off not knowing. I don't think this is a good idea. You're starting to sound like you have the dream scourge. No, first one.
What a strange question. Of course not. There are no trees out there. Or maybe there are.
Good luck on your journey. You're talking to yourself again. Well, I tried to warn you. Alright, you definitely got this dream scourge. Yeah, you're talking to yourself again. No, try to warn you.
People cross the sea all the time. Maybe I'll meet one who can help. Maybe they dream too. I should get going. As soon as I remember which way that is. Simple. Easy. You're meant for this.
Weird. A weird little man. Ooh. More enemies. More enemies. Hey! Look at this. Okay. Can I jump down there? I kind of think that will hurt. So let's not. How about here? Oh, that's better. Not perfect, but a little better. Okay, ooh. Yatzli. Okay, those are definitely enemies, so... Explosion. Okay, this one. Okay, this one is gone, so just one left. Oh, that's Kai, sorry.
Just like the good old days.
Okay, Yatzli, that was actually cool. You did good. Oh. Okay, I'm not gonna jump off of here. It still feels too high. Okay. Actually, hold on a second. I was supposed to be using the other one, right? Let's see, how's this one doing? This grimoire. And let's go visit the grave. Sailor's Rest. Kai? Tama's Memorial. Let's do it.
Thomas Memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks.
Souls may carry memories, however faint, of those they knew and loved in their next lives. If that helps. on his body. Do you want me to give you a minute? Say nothing. Better say something.
It doesn't, but I appreciate the effort. This is where you're supposed to distract me, lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something.
I'm all out, sorry. After everything, he's still trying to avoid facing this. Yeah, let's confront him. We have, after all, friends.
Trying? I thought I was doing a pretty good job. There's something I didn't tell you about Tama's death.
Listen.
Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back.
You wanted to help? You weren't, were you? This wasn't about the badge. You didn't want to watch him die. Let's just listen. Let him talk.
I walked away, Envoy. And I kept walking.
Wait, you never went back to Thirdborne at all? Yeah, we know he didn't. This was never about paying respects. This was about your guilt. I don't understand. You abandoned him. That is not true, I think. Okay, let's go with the first one.
Not since returning with you. Couldn't imagine anyone would be too happy to see me after everything. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborne.
I'm sorry. I can't give you absolution if that's what you're looking for. You can't beat yourself over this forever. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry.
At least I'm in good company. The
You
truth
are.
is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giatta and Yatzli, it's felt easy. Too easy.
Ooh, what's that mean? Reminds you of the good old days, Tama squad? You say like that's a bad thing. Crossing the living lands, fighting the room scourge, and dealing with the Stilgarot is easy. Well, yeah, if you're in good company, yeah. Yeah, too.
Yeah, and that worries me. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around.
What are you talking about? I know the feeling. That sounds lonely. So you'd rather make friends than abandon them. Yeah, that sounds lonely.
Better than the alternative. I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most.
You were hurt and afraid. Have a little self-compassion. So you messed up. Your failings is refusing to learn from it. Quit moping. You act like you're the only person who's ever let down anyone down. So you're just not going to try at all. That sounds so much better. Yeah, quit moping.
Oh, I know I'm not. The world is full of every kind of selfish, greedy, cowardly bastard you can imagine. Doesn't make it any better to be one of them. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it.
Don't pretend you bring brave. This is cowardice. You came all this way to honor Tama. Is this what you'd say if he were here? Relations about sticking around and making things right. What do you want me to say? It sounds like you got it figured out. I'd like to see you beating yourself up like this. No, relations about sticking around.
Except he's gone. There's no making it right. I gotta own that.
Yeah, but now we are here. You left more than time behind. You left the rest of Thirdborne to fend for themselves. You made Tama's memory a burden. That's no way to love him or honor his sacrifice. You're choosing to give up. You're letting your regret define you.
Of course I'm not. I'm finally being honest about this.
Tama saw more in you. Why are you so eager to prove him wrong? Don't confuse shame with duty or penance with love. You are a fighter kind? Quit running. Yeah, quit running.
I fight what I can see, Envoy. This feeling. How am I supposed to fight that?
Let's face it together. That's good. Accept what happens so that it no longer has power over you. You already know. What's the thing you last want to do? You don't. You just have to know what you're worthy of, that you're worthy of more. You already know.
You sound just like him. He was right. And so were you. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this.
What are you thinking now? And listen. Okay, what are you thinking?
I came to the Living Lands running. From storms, from war, from all the things those forces of nature make out of you. Maybe I'm done running away. I don't know what that means I'm running towards, but I think I'm finally ready to figure it out. Once we've stopped the Dream Scourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote.
That's a good plan. I'm glad for you. I hope that brings you what you are looking for. If you're sure. Yeah, I'm glad.
I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to.
Hey, 17. We are level 17. That's good. Okay. And I've got one ability point. Let's do this. Back blow. Some magical blow that allows high poison. Okay. This is actually good. Alright, let's do this. This is poison. Alright. Companions? No. No attributes. Okay. Oh, I've got perception by 2.
An arch with a seaside view. That's what that cartographer mentioned, right?
Where? Oh, down up there. How do we get there though? Huh? I have no clue how to get there. Alright. This is the memory. So before we go anywhere else, I could go to get the memory. Since we've been just over an hour, so we could finish the episode. Alright, let's go quickly. Okay, everybody is dead here. Okay. Okay, there is something there. Okay, it's here. At the same time, it's behind. What the? Where is it? How do I get there? I don't see anything that I can... I don't see any place I can blast open to get inside. So where is it? Huh? I'm really not sure where to go. There's definitely something. It seems like it's on the same level as we are, but it's inside. How is it inside? Oh, wait. I know. I know. There it is. That's right. Look at that. Okay, nice. Very nice. Yeah, and you can even see from the top a little bit, probably if you look close enough. Alright, so now we have to just quickly climb up and get to that last platform, and should be our memory. Okay, I think I've got everything. Alright, anything here? Okay, we picked up everything from here. What about this? Okay, nothing more. What? Something should be here. Where is it? Ah, there you are. Alright, and this is the memory. So, I am going to finish the episode here. It's well over 1 hour. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Please press that like button if you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye everyone.